Why am I here today? Why am I here, and what are the key actions or decision choices I've done that have led me to be here on stage today, this 24th of October? So I came across with a long list. But there's two really that I wanted to share with you. The first one goes back in 1995. So think about where were you in 1995. For me at that time, I was really keen into windsurfing. So that was my stuff. And school was something that was okay, but windsurfing was much, much more interesting. Actually, this is me. I found some black and white pictures and shared with you. And I had a lot of friends moving to Hawaii to pursue a career as a professional windsurfer, but I decided to go to mechanical engineering school instead. The second thing the second big choice is actually around 2000, actually when I met my wife. And it's funny because, as you can hear, I'm from France. My wife is Swedish. And the picture is actually from 2 weeks ago at Oktoberfest. But without these two choices, I would definitely not be here today. And being here is as well a choice for you guys. I mean, today you had a lot of other things to do, a lot of important things to do. So thank you very much for making this choice and being here with us today. So welcome to TactonDay 18. So TactonDay is getting bigger and hopefully better as well. It's getting bigger. Today we are coming from what I could count on was 18 countries. We're about 300, which is the biggest event for us so far. So how many of you are here for the really first time? So thank you for making it here. Who was here last year? There's a big majority. Who was here 3 years ago? Good. And you see that this is the thing that I like. Yes, it's about TactonDay, but it's kind of a family reunion. This spirit where we meet on a yearly basis to share. So thank you very much from all around the world for being here. Secondly, I wanted to thank our partners, specifically Microsoft and Salesforce, for making this event a bit more special. Then, over the years, we've been listening to you, and we've been asking you a lot of questions through surveys, through direct communication, and one thing was important for you is for Tacton to get closer to you, getting closer to you in your regions. And this is why, over the last 2 years, we've been going from 1 office to now 6 offices. So Stockholm, obviously, that's where we come from, and that's where we are today. We have today a team of 25 people in Warsaw, in Poland. Then this journey started as well 2016, actually 2 years ago, where at Tacton we acquired what is now our 3D visualization capabilities, a company called Lumographics in Karlsruhe, that we added with a team of between 5 and 10 person, one of our partners, Ventacor in Germany. So all in all now we're about 30 in Germany. We started an office organically in the US Q2 last year, and today we are about 10 people in the US. And our latest announcement that was to open an office in Tokyo to better support our customers and partners there. So we listen to you and getting closer to you in order to better support you, directly or through our partners. And if you wonder why these countries, why Germany, why Sweden, why the US, and why Japan, this is clearly because these countries have a common things, or the manufacturers of these countries have one common things, is their your non-ability to compete on price. You need to compete on value, of course. Competing on value come from two tracks. Either you're doing full customization, and our Japanese colleague here in the room can experience this with a lot of ETO in Japanese manufacturing. Then there's another way, is to really custom your stuff, as Bugatti would do in the car-making space, or even Koenigsegg in Sweden, maybe an example closer to us, producing 15 cars a year, and a car costs $3 million. These are not our customers. Our customers are the one competing, bringing value by offering an individualized solution, but at the same time, really structured, a variance really well managed. We will speak about mass individualization or mass customization. And I'm not going to bother you with trends now, because there's a lot of great people who will tell you more about this over the day. But really high level, that's something that I wanted to share with you here, is this journey we've seen with you, with our old customers, prospect, that this specific need to offer something individualized. We're speaking now about the lot of one, or the segment of one. Some people from Scania in the room here, when you see a Scania truck outside, it's probably the only one variant or configuration as is. The second thing is about decentralization of value chains. And you all know that all your value chains was already decentralized back in the days on the product side. So of course you were doing the design, and then the part production went to partners, and then you were doing the final assembly. But this has moved as well to sales, to the customer-facing activities. Today, value chains are totally decentralized in the customer engagement phase. You, as a consumer, you might want to start engaging with your brand, with your manufacturer on the web. You don't want to speak to a direct sales guy. You engage on the web, then you go to a partner, and you might end up speaking with one of your direct sales rep. So this is not multi-channel, but this is the omni-channel challenge that we're seeing everywhere. The third thing that is important to us to support you is to understand this servitization, or the differentiation coming from services. Most of you here in the room were producing stuff, big piece of hardware or smaller piece of hardware. And you were selling that as a one-off. But this has changed. Today, you want to engage with the customer over life cycle. You want, of course, to sell services, spare parts, and maybe even sell your stuff as a service. So, of course, what we're seeing here is servitization drives new business models, and this is why Tacton, we want to support this as well. And last but not least, this servitization, or this change of business model, charging for your turbine, your truck, your production line as a service, need to leverage the usage data, or the IoT data. So this is not something new. We all know that manufacturing is transforming. And with it, not only the way you design new products, but as well the way you sell it, the way you deliver it, and maintain it all over the life cycle of the product, or this life cycle of the customer. And this is why we exist here, and this is what we want to achieve. And going back first to our vision is really enabling you to do smart commerce. Because at the end of the day, it's about doing business and nothing else, and enabling this with great technology. I'm sure you've been to a lot of conferences. And there's always something about Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing, whatever you want to call it. And there's a lot of value to be unlocked, of course. But we speak a lot about cybersecurity, about robotics, about virtual reality, so on and so forth. But there's one big thing missing here, is that guy on that side, the customer. Where is the customer in this discussion? And this is why here at Tacton, what we're going to walk through over these 2 days is to see how we can put the customer at the center here. And this goes back to Tacton's mission, which is important for us to share with you, is really enabling you to put the customer at the center of your digitalization. So that said, what to expect for the next 3 days, or 2 actually. I do something else on Friday. So the next 2 days, it's 3 things. Well, I really want you to learn something, we want you to collaborate, and we want you to socialize. 3 things, no more. On the first one, it's learning. And I'm so happy to have great speakers here. speakers, but it's not about speakers, it's industry experts with a lot of depth. Today we will have the chance to listen to great presentation from everything from PTC to McKinsey, Accenture, FL Schmidt, being a customer view. And at the same time, listen to my friend Baman Motivala who is Mr. Salesforce in the Nordics. And Baman will speak to us about customer centricity in this digital age. Tomorrow is great, so don't leave after the party tonight. Tomorrow is great as well. We will listen to two great customer stories, Vilo and Wärtsilä. And at the same time, listen to Ola Repling, who is Mr. Manufacturing in Sweden for Microsoft. And Ola will speak about how do we all need to embrace transformation in manufacturing, not to die. Not to forget, out of these days, it's as well 14 breakout sessions. 14 breakout sessions for you to deep dive into our technology, because some of these tracks are Tacton specific, but not only. So take the chance to sharpen your skills as well, if needed. The second part was about collaboration. Here, our choice was not to have only a customer event. In the room, we have, of course, you customers, but we have prospects, we have partners, so an entire ecosystem. Because we believe that the true value is for you to exchange and to advocate around what we're doing. During the day, you will have the chance around the patio here to meet some of our partners. I think today there's 25 partners in the room, and actually 7 of them around here, so Salesforce, Microsoft, Technicon, our partner from the implementation partner in the US, Fluido, and I will let them tell you the story about what happened to them recently, great stories. Nova Makut, which is a great partner of ours in Italy, with deep knowledge into manufacturing. RBI, or Robert Bosch Engineering, super knowledge in Tacton CPQ and manufacturing customers. And CPQ Finland, which is a niche player. Actually, niche players coming from former customers. So speak with them because they have a Tacton experience from the other side and now can support you in your journey. The third thing was socialize. So yes, please socialize. We will have a mingle tonight, and hopefully it's going to be a great time. We can speak about a lot of things. But take the chance as well during the break to meet people around you. It's not a one-off or one-direction communication. So get together, learn from each other. So that was pretty much it. There's one last thing, or one more thing I wanted to share with you. Maybe more kind of a reflection. Something that is important going to these conferences or these events is meeting people. It's about the meeting. Meeting someone, and there's a lot of ways to meet someone. But what I really like is to meet someone and know someone, which is a big difference. And you all know that in the business life, you wake up in the morning, and usually you put your Iron Man suit on. Like you're that super guy, super woman, and you're not vulnerable. You're going to kill it, but you're not authentic. And this is what I'm going to ask you. That's the only ask I have for these 2 days. Please, behind this face, there's great people. So be authentic, be vulnerable as well, and be yourself. Thank you very much.